Did I ever tell you about my dream of owning a food truck? Yeah, one where tech meets food, like a chef bot. Today I think I got a taste of that. Played around with some Korean NY fusion recipes. Listen to this. Kimchi burger with a New York twist. Intense, right? If neural nest fails, you know where I'm heading next. Speaking of failure, salsa dancing is still a no-go for me, buddy. Rache and Sam are trying hard to convince me it's just fun. Who knew dancing could be so terrifying? On second thoughts, it's probably less scary than grappling a BJJ black belt. So, I saw this video of a squirrel water skiing today. Yes, you heard it right. My stress-busting YouTube algorithm knows its job, made me feel better about my salsa fears. If a squirrel can water ski, I guess I can salsa. The chat banter between the three of us never grows old, does it? Rache's Parisian adventures have me jealous. Let's hope she brings some of her French culinary inspiration when she's back. And Sam, our very own AI Sherlock cum salsa king. Seriously, who does that? I bet he's the first one in the world. The old extravaganza eggs saga was dug from the grave today, thanks to the Parisian patisseries. I think my fusion burger could give those eggs a run for their money. But honestly, nothing touches the spot like Sam's legendary scrambled. I guess some things are set in stone, much like my fear of salsa, I reckon. Now that we're on the memory trip, ever think about our graduation party? Dancing was a no-stress deal then, just some good old boyish fun. The good times, huh? I miss that. Life with a startup brews a whole different kind of salsa. No rhythm, all chaos. On a completely not-so-random note, have you ever thought if trees get bored? I mean, they stay in one place all their lives. Or maybe they've mastered the art of patience. Kind of like us waiting for Sam to cook. You wouldn't believe what Sarah and I ended up doing today. We hosted a fireside chat at Neural Nest on overcoming setbacks. It wasn't just for the team, but it was more like for our own sake as well. Sort of a pep talk, you know, to remind ourselves and the team why we chose to do what we are doing. Gave me a fresh perspective on things. Chatting with the buddies was fun as usual. Sam was on about elevators not being invented and how we would all have killer legs. Although some part of me thought I wouldn't mind. More stairs would mean more exercise, right? Speaking of exercise, Sam asked me how my jiu-jitsu's going. Good days and bad days, my man, but it ain't going nowhere for sure. Yet, salsa, oh boy, it feels like climbing a mountain. Guess that's how it is when you are used to spending the weekend playing Go or brewing up a fusion recipe. Speaking of recipes, it's definitely BBQ time. We need to catch up soon, and I've been trying some Korean NY-style BBQ. Man, I've missed our catch-ups. Do you remember the graduation party? Dancing was a blast back then. No worries about getting the steps right, messing up and all that jazz. But now, salsa feels like a whole new territory. Thinking about it, life with the startup feels kinda similar. You step into this whole new dance, the patterns unfamiliar, the rules, alien, days feel chaotic, rhythmless. But you know what? It's a bittersweet symphony. Wouldn't trade it for anything else. Hey, here's something. Did it ever occur to you if trees get bored? Bit quirky, I know. Trees, they stay stuck in one place their whole lives. Or maybe they've got it all figured out, staying patient while the world around them changes. Dang, never thought I'd be relating to trees today. Not the usual Sunday conversation for sure. I've enlisted a new oppa to my academic journey. Yeah, oppa means elder brother in Korean, but it also refers to a male friend who is older than the female speaker, and the term has been popularized in Chinese culture after the spread of Korean dramas. So I thought it's fitting to nickname my Chinese tutor that way. Fellow named Alan, an amazing orator in Mandarin, really got the tones and subtleties down to the T. And while I can converse in melodious Python and Java without batting an eye, Mandarin, with its tonal nature, feels like treacherous territory. To keep the journey interesting, I've asked Alan to teach using Chinese sci-fi novels. Isn't it like two birds with a stone? Taking these lessons feels like I'm scrambling to climb a steep peak. But then again, so did startup life at first. It's funny how we adapt, right? I'm slightly nervous too. What if I, instead of ordering a plate of chicken, end up asking for a pet rooster at the meeting? That's a cognition error my AI would never make. The chat with Rachel and Sam was an epic exercise in mixing laughter with serious endeavors. Salsa-loving Sam posing as an elevator-hating fitness maniac had me chuckling. Leave it to him to contemplate about a world without elevators. Can you imagine the absurdity every time you have to climb up to your penthouse? Told the gang about my Mandarin adventure today. Their reactions, as expected, loaded with humor and encouragement alike. Sam's comment on his salsa dancing skills being unhelpful felt hilarious. Suddenly got me picturing a salsa class full of coders, twirling around servers instead of dance partners. And Rache, she never misses a beat on bringing forth the linguistic connections. It's a cool way to look at it though. Rhythm of code, rhythm of dance, the underlying patterns that run the world, huh? The chat, as it always does, travelled around our little world, from Matrix movies and upcoming BBQs to salsa and jiu-jitsu. The idea of adding dance lessons to our mix had me breaking into invisible cold sweats. Like battling a fully armoured AI ninja just got easier compared to that. Oh, and speaking of movies, did you manage to cash in on Sam's recommendation and watch the new Matrix sequel? The taco side of my brain would term it as a tantalizing dish, with some new ingredients keeping original flavours intact. Can't wait to hear your review. I wonder what the Chinese would think of a sci-fi based on salsa, jiu-jitsu, and a sprinkle of our code madness. Or even better, a Siri-like salsa expert AI to tutor those like me who are rhythmically impaired. But then again, we have the tech. Mastering dance is a journey of the human soul, isn't it? All this dance and language furore is engaging. A swirl in the startup salsa makes up the bittersweet rhythm of my life. It does appear chaotic, yet harmonious in a way. A bit like our lost sense of time because of this tech-infused life. Or perhaps it's the quiet patience within all that chaos nearer to the tree's approach to life. And while this Mandarin adventure is cheering the left side of my brain, the right one's set on exploring the culinary fusion at our upcoming BBQ. But for now, Mandarin and Matrix lurk on my horizon.